click on a direct widget, let's take NDTV for example. They have a variety of services, and you can imagine most people will not be able to remember all the different things you could do with NDTV. I'm going to go ahead and select business headlines, and here we are sending the message, and I don't have to wait for the response. If I don't want to, I can go and do other things. I could even shortcut this, meaning that it'll save the steps I took to get to this point, so I don't have to go through even 3 or 4 steps. It might just be a few steps. And you can see here in our response, we've made the responses interactive, so you don't have to hit an R for reply or an F for forward anymore. You just select on the highlighted value, and again, you send out a text for the second part of that message response. So we're trying to do as much as we can to just make the experience much more intuitive and friendly. And there's a response. We currently are looking to, we are supporting all these widgets here. Twitter, from Twitter we're about to start supporting SMS Gupshup, Facebook and Orkut, which we think are really important since social networking is so big right now. And news and information such as a company like India Times or NDTV is all available today, although we have not launched officially in India. The demo I'm showing you is on a Samsung Blackjack, which is a Windows mobile phone, but really that's not the target phone that we're going after. We're going after the mass market phone, a J2Me phone, you know, in the range of 5,000 to 10,000 rupees, and that would be something in the likes of a Nokia Express Music. And so I actually kind of just brought this over to show you the look of the application on the Nokia. Let's go ahead and go back. Looks really good on this phone, and I can do the same thing. I can click on Facebook, for example, and I want to update my status. I was asking what's on my mind, and I'll just type in demoing, and then I'll go to the options menu and I'll click on OK and send that away. And what I wanted to show you in this case with this J2Me client, if the network is not too congested, in the response we'll see an ad, and that is all activated today. Because again, this is accessing the Facebook API, which is open to the public, and so again it's going through our server, and when we get the response we can throw in a very contextual ad in that text channel itself. So that's really kind of a big part of actually one of the ways we would monetize on this is through advertising, and a user can, there's several actions you can invoke an ad with, such as selecting an ad and going to the advertiser's website, having the advertiser call you, so on and so forth. So we have several kind of actionable things you can do with the ads that come back in the promotional channel. This is still waiting, so we're just going to kind of let that run. I also want to show you the product on the E71, which is another popular phone. Here, the app looking on the E71. And again, our value is I'm running Twitter and update my status. Feeling hungry. And asking me if I want to send the text, and I go ahead and send the text. And it's as simple as that. So that's really kind of how the application works and looks. And just running quickly back to the PowerPoints. A lot of folks have asked us about how are we planning to distribute this application, because that obviously is probably one of the biggest challenges with any downloadable app. And we have several distribution strategies, which include everything from working directly with the content partners, in which we could provide their version of the app on the phone itself, or distribute our app through their website, to working with retailers, potentially to preload our application on a memory card that's in the box. But of course, more importantly, talking to several handset manufacturers. In fact, some we are in discussions with right now to be preloaded. Talking to several carriers in India that have expressed a lot of interest, again, because we're adding a lot of value to SMS, especially for things like social, which are hot. And in the US, we are launched on several third-party app stores, such as Handango and GetJar, and of course, leveraging the social and viral aspect, such as Facebook or Gupshup or Twitter. So really a multi-thronged approach to distributing the application. And here you go, I got the response for my Twitter, and you can see here the ad right at the bottom. It's a very kind of non-obtrusive ad. Quick video sharing made easy. It's a real ad, and I can select it and I can click on it. And in this case, it would actually invoke a GPRS connection, and that's something we can allow for or not allow for. But you can kind of see the power of the advertising through this. I think that's it. Do you have any general questions?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. It's like, what struck my mind is why E71 build?
Why the E71?
Yeah.
Well, first you asked for it.
Yes, I did. I wanted to know, but then I was like, wait.
And actually, you're not the only one who's asked for the E71. It seems like it's a very popular phone out here. And actually, 2 or 3 opportunities we're working on. We've had requests to have this build running on the E71. So surely, just based on the requests that we're getting by customers or partners that we're talking to.
That's interesting.
But it's a good question, because it's really, again, it's not really geared, towards this high level of a phone. We have a very low footprint. These apps are about 20 to 25K in terms of size, and the actual platform is about 200K. So we can fit very comfortably on a mid-tier phone that ranges somewhere between 5 to 10,000 rupees. And an example of that would be the 5130 Express Music, which I showed you.
Yeah. So another question is like, how are you making the advertising relevant?
Well, because when we send the messages through our server and access the API, when the response comes back, when the user downloads the application, they register with the product. So we have and know a lot of the demographic information about the user, and we know what service they've clicked on, and we know what specific requests they're making. So it can be extremely relevant and contextual ad that we send back in the response. And again, it's coming from our server, so we just inject that into the SMS response, given that we have enough space in the response, which in most cases we do, and it comes back.